Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Let's Play The Witness. So, where we left off, we were kind of stumped on the second puzzle here, and I was kind of dinking around with it off camera, and I think I finally figured out what the problem was. I think I finally looked at it through this other colored glass. See how it's completely different. So I took a quick picture of the new solution so that we could try and trace the pattern here. I think our clue that things really aren't what they seem is because there are so many different colors, and with this size board it's pretty impossible to separate them all out. So there we go. And now this guy was really tricky because I think this last one we had to look through both the cyan glass and the green glass. And I know from some feedback that a lot of you are probably pretty bummed out that I actually turned off the camera and did some solving on my own just to kind of speed things up for you guys. In the future I'll try and just solve it on camera and look around, because I know that you guys like those aha moments, especially when it comes to like puzzles. So I'll try not to deprive you of that in the future. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but there are some fancy new thumbnails for our series. Let me know what you guys think. Thank goodness that I have access to Photoshop and I have experience with like graphic design and stuff. So I'm pretty impressed with them. Actually, Striker is now trying to convince me to do some for his channel too. So we'll see if I actually do it. I'm not sure if I really want to, just because it takes so much interaction and like figuring out what personal preference is. And you know, when I talked to him about it, he basically just said he wants them exactly like mine, and I'm like, well, I don't want them to be exactly like mine because then I'm not unique anymore. I mean, there's only so many different things you can do with your title slide. So here I'm trying it the way that I saw through one color of glass, but I'm quickly gonna find out that it doesn't work, because the way it looks through the blue glass is that it seems like shades maybe, so I'm trying to solve it with that in mind, that maybe they are similar colors and just there's a shading difference, because we did see way early on when we first got introduced to like the white and the black squares that when there was shadow on the white it kind of looked gray. So I was thinking maybe they were the same colors, they just had shadow playing on them when you looked through it through that glass. I mean, I don't know why I would think that, because looking at it there's definitely no shadow on any of these. So I'm not sure why I thought that maybe glass would add shadowing as well. It's funny though, because I was originally thinking, like when I was looking at this on the boat way back when we got it and kind of cruised around the coast, that this totally seemed like it would be an end game area, just because it seemed like a super secret lab like on the cliffside. But looking at the map that you get on the boat, the symbol seemed the closest to a concept that I already knew, so that's why I ended up going here. So I'm curious how many people actually decided to come here, because I was discussing it with Striker also. We talk a lot about our episodes, especially now that we're like far enough apart that we're not really intersecting in the same areas. Like he went off, I think, starting episode 5, he starts to look at different things than I've been looking at. So I've been given the green light to watch his first 5 episodes. So I'm probably going to do that, just to kind of see what he noticed and the difference in what I noticed. And maybe I'll actually pick up on something that he didn't. I don't know, because I don't think it's really fair that he gets to watch my videos. Oh, there, I'm making a connection that it's different between the two glasses, that it's different in the green, different in the blue. And if you look, the glass turns bright green if you look at it through the yellow, which I think is eventually what clues me into maybe trying to look through both. Try to go upstairs to see if maybe I can get some pink. That doesn't work. Walking back and forth a little bit. Oh, getting some lag. This was my second video of the day, so my computer was getting a little grumpy. Staring, searching its soul for answers. Oh geez, yep, see, I noticed that it was different. It does though look like shades still, because it looks like an intermediate green, a black, and a bright green. So the intermediate green could still be bright green if I continued along the same logic line, but it might just be 2 colors. You'll be happy to know in the next episode I don't have to do voiceovers anymore. So I solved the issue, and I'm actually really excited to do my recording today because I accidentally got cut a little short while recording our next episode, or the episode that's after this next one. So I think episode 10. I got cut short with my episode 10, and so I think I'm going to do like another mini and then stitch them together. So part of episode 10 I did yesterday, and then the other part I'm going to do today. Or I guess, since when this actually gets published, I did it yesterday. So just to keep me kind of busy, I really like this view too, by the way, that we can kind of look down at these rocks. Now this is a lot of different color. So that's our clue that there's no way we could solve it like that. So we try and close it. And the colors should change. Because when it's closed, that one we just solved looks all the same color. But now that it's closed, there's only 3 colors on that second puzzle. So anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought. So how I record these episodes is I'll do a couple recordings because I don't really like only playing for like 30 minutes. So I play for more like an hour to an hour and a half and do 2 to 3 videos. And then I try to upload one a day at about 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so, but since I recorded these and I realized that there was no audio, I did the voiceover recording for the video that got released before this yesterday, which this is going to be really confusing when you're listening to this in the future. And then so today I'm doing this recording, and then I'll be doing the second half of my episode 10 and then do some editing to composite that together. But I like doing a little bit of playing and a little bit of post-processing just to give me some variety. I think because I like being able to react and adapt to your comments quicker, what I'm probably going to end up doing is try and stick to maybe only recording one episode and then have another game that I can switch to. So I might start another video channel, or I might just play a game off camera, just to give me some variety, and so I can actually play a game and make progress and not worry about getting too far ahead. And I figure with like other types of games, that sort of thing, like getting feedback that you can adapt to, isn't really as much of an issue as with puzzle games. So this room is all red, so it's just like shades. It's 50 shades of red in this room. So now we've got this elevator. And you'll notice that each floor has a different color light. And there's one floor that has a broken cord, which made me pretty nervous. I wasn't sure what was going to happen when I tried and light up that cord. Because, of course, knowing me, I don't being afraid of the dark, I'm also afraid of elevators, especially when you have someone with you that likes to jump up and down in the elevator to freak you out. I know that that person knows who I'm talking about. I'm really enjoying how easy these are. You just gotta watch the panel and new answers get shown to you. Now I think it's either this floor or the next floor where some extrapolation has to happen. I believe it's this one because as we look, it's green light, kind of bluish green light, not really a solid color. I think that's because like there is no light actually in this room. The color we're getting is from the floor above and the floor below. So we have to figure out what the colors are, and what I end up figuring out is that because we can't actually get to the bright green floor because that's the floor that has the broken cord, so if there was green light shining on this, the bright green and the light blue would look the same, and the dark blue is not going to be the same color. I like how I'm worried about like that one little square. I think right now I'm just trying to solve it as is, which is impossible because of that corner. Yep, I figured out it's impossible. I think probably the further on in this game you get, you kind of come to realization that, like, if you're having a lot of difficulty solving something, it's because there's something funky going on with it. I don't remember if this is actually how I solve it or not, but I basically only need to separate out those two dark blue squares in the middle. So just make a column and then go to the exit. Should be all I need to do. Yeah, see, I did it wrong, and now we're going back down. It's kind of interesting, because I think if you do the exact pattern that you need for a specific floor, that it'll still count. I'm not positive. I don't think I actually tried it. But it's extra incentive to not screw up, because you could potentially go all the way back down to the bottom, which is what I ended up doing. But luckily, I only did 2. Okay, now we're back to where we were. Let's see if I do it right this time. It's interesting. I find that the way my brain works is I like to do things the complicated way. Like, more complicated than they seem. Sometimes, although, I guess I can't say all the time, because there's definitely some times where, like, I'll kind of try and cut corners and want it to be the easy way, but it doesn't work. Okay, see, I figured it out for this floor, but it doesn't go up, so now I need to figure it out with the green light. That's what it was. So it's not impossible. I was saying it's impossible, but it wasn't. Whoops. See, this is what happens when there's a couple days between when you play this and do a voiceover. I doubted myself so much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pony, that I doubted you. So I think my tip-off also is looking at these peppers. They're all shades of green, except for the ones that are blue, which are really bright blue. So, I mean, you would think maybe that the ones that are blue, light blue, would also be bright, but I think because they're faded out, so if you like looked at a color palette, that shade of blue and the shade of green would be on the same color palette, but that dark blue would not, because it's a different saturation. So like if you look up, all of them are going to be super green, except there's going to be one in the spot where the blue ones should be, I think, that are definitely different. Let's see if I look up again. There we go. So see, the one in that corner, you can definitely, I don't know, I guess maybe not. I thought so. They all look really green. It's also a different kind of plant up there, I noticed. It's not peppers. Nice. Now we'll see what I'm talking about, how that green gets even more green and the light blue turns exactly the same color. Now we're going on to a different color light. Which seems like there's no tricks to it, except I'm clearly that's wrong because I forgot about the, yeah. Which luckily, I don't go anywhere because it's the same answer as, or I guess it tries to drop me down but it doesn't. So maybe that's like the hump there. If you, below that, if you get it wrong, you go all the way down. But above that, you only go down to where that broken cable is. Which I guess is a nice little safety net. There we go. I had a lot of talking to do here. I wish that I had checked my stupid microphone. They've got quite a pretty arrangement of flowers or plants or whatever. Now we're revealing another laser from a robot in a box. I'm really curious about that laser because it's clearly not pointing towards the top, so I feel like we're gonna have to adjust that at some point so that it points in the right direction. This one seems like it's gonna point towards where that one's pointing, but then it starts rotating towards the right direction. Any second now, there we go. It's also interesting to me that the beams seem to kind of like change color. I think now looking at it again, I was thinking that they were different colors, but I think maybe that they're just pulsating. So now we gotta try and figure out how to get out of this building. And at this point, getting it wrong does take us all the way to the bottom, interestingly enough. Going down, down, down. Now we get a look at that green room. It's all the same plant. no color variation. But different than the peppers, which is interesting. I don't know. I mean, part of me would think maybe it's dying because no one can get to that floor, but it's a different plant on that floor too. It's roses. I guess I never really turned around when I was in the elevator. And this is it. Okay, so I guess there are different plants on each floor. Well, there you go. Well, I guess not quite, because I think the ones down here are the same as the ones above. I don't know, the leaves might look shorter, so maybe they are different. How do we leave? There we go. I really like that these places are so different that definitely some people can be strong at some puzzles but not strong in others. Like, it definitely exercises different sides, like sides of your brain. There we go, that's what I was trying to say. Like, someone could be super smart and be really good at math but not be very good at like social interactions. No one's really perfect at everything, I would say. Looking at this waterfall. Really like this waterfall. Makes me miss going hiking. Eventually I'll get to go hiking again soon. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping up here. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially those that have stuck with me from the very first episode. Thanks for hanging with me through these voiceovers. They are now over and you'll be able to go back to the regular recording style in the next episode. I hope you're all staying safe and sane, not going crazy. So feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. I really like reading your comments, and it definitely gives me motivation to go out and do more content and better content for you. So, and I guess I'm just trying to fill space until the actual end of the episode. But thank you guys all so much. I really appreciate you. That's all I'm trying to say. And I'll see you next time on Let's Play with Pony.